Hi, I'm Alice with Ease of Motion in Portland, Oregon, sharing practices to help you move better and feel better. In my own yoga practice and through my work as a yoga teacher, I find great benefit from drawing themes from Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Reconciliation, Healing the Inner Child. With this recording, I'd like to share a passage from the book with you and then lead you in a brief meditation to give you an opportunity to reflect on that passage. So you can begin by coming to a comfortable seat, and according to the needs of your body, you might choose to sit towards the front edge of a straight-backed or folding chair with your feet parallel and hip-width apart and your shins roughly vertical. Or you could choose to sit on the floor, perhaps cross-legged with your hips elevated by a folded blanket or block, or in a low kneeling position, again with your hips supported by a yoga block. Once you've come to your comfortable seat, sit up tall and make the choice to either close your eyes or soften your gaze. Begin to guide your attention inwards, away from the distractions and the responsibilities of the outside world. Let your awareness be occupied in these moments by simply attending to the sensations available through your body and your breath. Let your breath be soft and natural, flowing gently in and out through your nose. Ideally with your lips closed and the hinge of your jaw relaxed. You might perhaps rest your awareness on the touch of the breath as it enters and exits your nostrils. Or if you prefer, you could follow the rhythmic rise and fall of your belly. Ebb and flow, which accompanies the rhythm of each breath cycle. And as you continue to sit quietly and follow your breath, I'm going to offer you these words from Thich Nhat Hanh. This is from a section called The Child Within. In each of us, there's a young, suffering child. We've all had times of difficulty as children, and many of us have experienced trauma. To protect and defend ourselves against future suffering, we often try to forget those painful times. Every time we're in touch with the experience of suffering, we believe we can't bear it, and we stuff our feelings and memories deep down in our unconscious mind. It may be that we haven't dared to face this child for many decades. But just because we may have ignored the child doesn't mean she or he isn't there. We may want to end our suffering by sending the child to a deep place inside and staying as far away as possible. But running away doesn't end our suffering, it only prolongs it. The wounded child asks us for care and love, but we do the opposite. We run away because we're afraid of suffering. The block of pain and sorrow in us feels overwhelming. Even if we have time, we don't come home to ourselves. We try to keep ourselves constantly entertained watching television or movies, socializing, or using alcohol or drugs, because we don't want to experience that suffering all over again. The wounded child is there, and we don't even know she's there. But the wounded child in us is a reality. We just don't want to see her. That inability to see is a kind of ignorance. This child has been severely wounded. She or he really needs us to return. Instead, we turn away. Ignorance is in each cell of our body and our consciousness. It's like a drop of ink diffused in a glass of water. That ignorance stops us from seeing reality. It pushes us to do foolish things that make us suffer even more, and that wound again the already wounded child in us. The wounded child is also in each cell of our body. There is no cell of our body that does not have that wounded child in it. We don't have to look far into the past for that child. We only have to look deeply, and we can be in touch with him. The suffering of that wounded child is lying inside us right now, in the present moment. But just as the suffering is present in every cell of our body, so are the seeds of awakened understanding and happiness. We just have to use them. We have to light the lamp inside of us, the lamp of mindfulness. The oil of that lamp is in our breathing, our steps, our peaceful smile. We have to light that lamp of mindfulness so the light will shine out and the darkness will dissipate and cease. Our practice is to light up the lamp. When we become aware that we've forgotten the wounded child in ourselves, we feel great compassion for that child, and we begin to generate the energy of mindfulness. The practices of mindful walking, mindful sitting, and mindful breathing are our foundation. With our mindful breath and mindful steps, we can produce the energy of mindfulness and return to the awakened wisdom lying in each cell of our body. That energy will embrace us and heal us, and will heal the wounded child in us. As those words reverberate, continue to sit in quiet, in touch with your breathing. To deepen your sense of awareness of the wounded inner child within, it might be helpful to place one hand on your belly and the other across your heart. With each breath that you welcome and release, imagine that you are nourishing not only the physical cells of your own present-day body, but you're also offering nourishing breath to the inner child within. Warmly rest your smiling internal gaze on that inner child. You might have been feeling justifiably neglected and alone. Reassure him or her of your willingness to be present and attentive, to not look away. Promise that wounded inner child that you will acknowledge, notice, witness his or her suffering. And that you will be a steady, dependable presence. Staying right there with him or her, offering your compassion as that suffering transforms. You might sense that child within you, sharing the rhythm of your heartbeat, the rhythm of your breath. You can now join your palms together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. Honor your willingness to be here with your inner child, to offer your present moment non-judgmental care and attention. And also honor the teachings that Thich Nhat Hanh left behind, the healing potential that they continue to provide. And with your next exhalation, bow your head to your heart. Namaste. And as you bring your chin to level, you can lift your gaze or open your eyes, return your hands to your lap. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing in the practice. I will plan on making more of these recordings, choosing selections from Thich Nhat Hanh's book, again, Reconciliation, Healing the Inner Child. And I hope that you'll join me. Thank you.